Welcome back to Good Day State Line. Our friend Jim Feltz is joining us this morning from Allstate. Good morning, Jim.
Morning, Michelle.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Of course.
Come to our beautiful studio.
It's
we
gorgeous.
love to have people here that we like to talk to. So you are an insurance agent at Allstate. For anyone who doesn't know you, just give us like some brief history about yourself.
Brief history is I got insurance back in 2007 and went from health insurance to property and casualty, homes, autos, and life.
So that's what we're talking about today is life insurance.
Okay.
Which, you know, I was talking to our producer, Danica, about life insurance earlier, and we realized that we don't know anything about it. So we're very glad that you're on this morning, and you're going to tell us first off, when should someone get a life insurance policy?
Well, a lot of times children will get life policies through their parents or through their grandparents will buy them something small, just to have some value build up.
Sure.
But I would encourage people to get insurance as teenagers, if not in their youth, in their 20s.
Which is something I honestly never really thought about, especially as a teenager, but that would probably be a parent's decision at that age.
It definitely would. You have to be 18 to do it on your own. And the reason that you want life insurance, you got to take the word life insurance out of there because that scares a lot of people. It's like, oh,
Sure.
I'm not going to die. Nobody's ever going to die, right?
Right, never.
That's just, it's not going to happen until you start realizing your mortality, and then all of a sudden you realize, I probably should get some. And when you're in your 50s or in your 40s and you go to get it, it's a lot more expensive than when you're younger.
Which makes sense.
And besides that, you want to get it while you're younger because typically you don't have any pre-existing conditions.
Okay.
If you were to get life insurance, say at the age of 22, get out of college, get a life policy. Outside of work, you should have your own policy too, by the way. A lot of companies do offer that as a benefit, and that is a plus, but you should always have your own policy because what if you, like me, you went out and worked self-employed?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you need to have your own policy. And there's a lot of different types of policies that you can get. Life insurance is more than just a life policy in case you die. It also could be a policy that builds value over time.
Okay.
And something that you can actually cash in later on in life.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
See, that's new information to me, Jim, so tell me about that.
Well, there's several different types. There's a whole life policy, which is basically pays out a small percentage, better than what your bank's paying out right now.
Okay.
But there's also policies that go off of the S&P index, so they can go up. And with Allstate's policies, they can, I'm not going to get into too many details because I can't, but they don't lose value, so it can only gain value. So those are usually a little more aggressive. So for my kids, when they were in their 20s and teenage years, I bought those policies for them, and now they can look at it and have a good idea where it's going to end up, say when they're 65, and they may not need a full big policy at that point, so they can take the cash value out of it.
But obviously, if you don't start, you're not going to have that.
Correct.
It's impossible to build that in 3-4
correct.
years. You have to build it over time.
Right.
So how do you know if you have enough coverage?
Well, typically, if you go on lifehappens.org, that's a non-biased website.
Sure.
There are no insurance companies represented there, and it will tell you basically 10 times your income is what you should have. A lot of times it's not affordable, so you just got to sort of piece things together as time goes on. As you make more money, you can get more products.
So that's obviously where you come in because you know all of these things. You've been doing this for a long time. You said you've purchased this for your children. I'm guaranteeing you have life insurance yourself.
I do.
That's the easiest question I'm going to ask all day today. So when you're finding all of this out and you're figuring out what plan you need, you're going to call Jim. How do we get in touch with you?
You can search Jim Feltz, the insurance guy, which is the way I prefer you to do it. Or you can call 815-397-6050. I just want to tell a quick story if it's all right.
Sure.
I had a friend, insurance, Allstate employee, had one daughter. She was 28 years old. This happened about 4 or 5 years ago. Got pneumonia. Unfortunately, she passed. Her only child. This is why I tell parents that they should get policies that are big enough for their kids because the policy isn't really for the child.
Sure.
It's for you, the parent. She was obviously devastated and couldn't work. She was at home, Great Depression, but her daughter actually took out some extra insurance at work. She had $100,000, which helped keep her and her house and her husband. They were able to sustain themselves with that extra money because it's for your time to grieve, and it's sad.
Absolutely.
But we have to talk about the tough things, and unfortunately, life insurance is one of those tough conversations.
Yes, perfect example, Jim, and thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we're taking you inside a shower that will let you program your water temperature, and later exactly what you should be using this summer to get your skin soft. Grab anything you might have missed from us at gooddaystateline.com. We'll be right back.